The Indiana Fever girls, Caitlin Clark, Natasha Howard, all of them came out during the Pacers-Bucks game, the playoff game, to toss out some t-shirts, and everybody loved it.
And I got my friends from the Fever here, Leah, Kelsey, everybody's here. If you want a t-shirt, need you to make some noise.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey! So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one. This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
Now the entire league is paying attention, some excited, some anxious, because there's something scary about a player setting the tone before even tipping off someone who doesn't need warm-ups, media rounds, or big promises. Just one clip was enough to launch the Caitlin Clark era.
Takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
And if this is the level she's showing before even stepping into her WNBA debut, then everyone better get ready, because the real fireworks haven't even begun yet.
Supposed to react to having a star like her. And they made the playoffs. She was Rookie of the Year. She had a great year. Like, this all makes sense. I'm excited for them. The coaching change, I think, is going to be really big.
The league wasn't ready for her last year. They just weren't prepared. Yeah. She was prepared.
She's had a full offseason now to rest.
No. She's going to be great. The league just didn't know what to do.
Get the MVP tickets in. Just bet them to win the championship. It's fun. And then you get to watch all her games.
This isn't just about a viral moment anymore. This is about a change in tempo and expectations in what's achievable. Caitlin Clark is reshaping what it means to step into the league as a rookie.
One thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her.
Why her?
Well, but she was a white girl from the middle of America.
While Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA, there are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silenced when it comes to that.
She's not here to wait her turn or adapt to the speed. She is the speed, she's the storm that shifts everything, and soon when the lights are the brightest and the pressure reaches its highest, the world will finally witness what Indiana's practice court already knows. She's not just unstoppable, she's inevitable.
Right, and that's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
The moment Caitlin Clark walked into the arena, the entire vibe changed. It wasn't just excitement anymore. It was electric, like something legendary was about to happen with the Pacers deep in their playoff fight. It was Caitlin who stole the spotlight without even touching a ball. Fans were stunned. As soon as she showed up courtside, cheers erupted, cameras started flashing, and the energy exploded. Even players noticed. Instantly, Caitlin made the playoff scene feel like it revolved around her. When it was time for the Fever team to throw t-shirts, Caitlin didn't just join, she owned it. Every move she made carried a fierce fire that couldn't be missed.
Give me Caitlin Clark, because this has been box office, y'all. The young guns, the young stars have come to play.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit.
Grabbing a bunch of shirts, she fired up the crowd with the same passion she shows in a championship battle. While others casually tossed shirts, Caitlin turned it into a show. Fans scrambled to get her attention, chanting, waving, even climbing over each other just to catch something she touched. It wasn't just about the shirt, it was about sharing a moment with someone they already believed was a generational superstar.
I was the WNBA. I would have considered a separate television package to a network on just Caitlin Clark games. I would have had two packages, the WNBA package, and then a separate, let's say 15 to 18 game Caitlin Clark package for, it could be HBO, it could be Fox, it could be anybody. I would have sold a separate Caitlin Clark pack.
And it didn't end there. Even in a playful setting, Caitlin's instincts took over strategic, competitive, magnetic. She amped up the crowd louder than anyone feeding off their energy and sending it back 10 times stronger. What should have been a simple timeout break became an all-out Caitlin Clark takeover.
There's so many players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college. What's that next step like for her?
Next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W. And then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way, but, continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.
The Pacers were fighting for their playoff hopes, but in the stands, the Real story was being crafted by a WNBA rookie whose influence is already crossing leagues. There was no pretending here, no marketing team could have scripted it better.
And that's what a lot of these women are doing is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry. When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her. And you know who that's helping? Everybody else. It's helping the Asia Wilsons. It's helping everybody else, the Plums, all that.
Caitlin's presence was raw, authentic, and larger than anyone imagined. It was impossible not to notice how easily she owned the moment. Veterans, rookies, diehard Pacers fans, everyone was pulled into her orbit. Even NBA TV couldn't help but highlight her clip, blasting it across social media within minutes. By the final buzzer, Caitlin wasn't just a guest. She had become the night's headline, offering a glimpse of a future where every room belongs to her before she even speaks.
And a lot of people actually did not know that was her for the longest, but that's who that was. Somebody else said Caitlin, Kelsey Mitchell. Somebody said, I love Caitlin. Caitlin Carey Clark. It's almost time for the Phoebe show. And that's exactly how I'm feeling, man. It's definitely almost time for the start of the Indiana Fever season, man. Somebody said the gang is all here.
The explosion didn't stay inside the arena. It erupted all over the internet within minutes. Social media feeds lit up like wildfire, with clips of Caitlin Clark's appearance flooding timelines everywhere. Thousands of fans reposted, retweeted, and commented, not just because it was surprising, but because of the undeniable star power Caitlin brought with her.
So, Pacer fans, you heard him.
Gosh, this was a lit situation in Indiana, man. This clip currently have 72,000 views, bro. 72,000 views, my dude.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
In a playoff game designed to showcase NBA stars, it was Caitlin's clip that dominated the views and captured the headlines. Posts celebrating her presence, her energy, her magnetic charisma filled every corner of the internet, securing her status as a cultural icon well beyond basketball.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
Caitlin Clark may not win titles, but the fact that she's doing what she's doing and at a very high level, it's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league.
Fans weren't just cheering her arrival, they were noticing every detail the cameras picked up. What insiders have been hinting at for months, Caitlin Clark's evolution no longer just the slender point guard who shattered records. Caitlin has built herself into a force ready for WNBA battles. Her arms, her frame, the strength she showed, it didn't go unnoticed. Comment sections buzzed with talk about how much stronger, sharper, and more dominant she looks, proof that she's not here to just fit in, she's here to take over.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
But it wasn't just her physical transformation that won over fans, it was her playful energy that sealed the moment. During the t-shirt toss, Caitlin couldn't resist teasing a fan with a fake-out throw that had the whole section roaring with laughter, and as she walked off the court, she pulled a move right out of her college days, jokingly chirping at a referee like she was already deep into the season. It was classic Caitlin, fiery, fearless, and completely at ease under the spotlight. She wasn't nervous, she wasn't scripted, she was simply herself, and that effortless charisma lit up the night in a way no planned moment ever could. The Pacers may have been battling for playoff survival on the floor, but the real star was standing among the crowd, tossing shirts and winning hearts without even trying. Caitlin Clark showed again that her magnetic pull isn't limited to the court, it follows her everywhere, pulling in fans, cameras, and conversations effortlessly. And if anyone still questioned her readiness for the pros, tonight wiped away every doubt. Caitlin isn't just ready, she's about to take the entire sports world by storm.